The Anguttara Nikāya, Book of the Fives, Suttas 31 to 40. Sumanāvagga, the section on Sumanā. Sumanā Sutta, Princess Sumanā. At one time the Blessed One was living in the monastery offered by Anathapindika at Jeta's Grove in Savatthi. It was during that time that Princess Sumanā, while attended by 500 royal maidens, approached Jeta's Grove, escorted by 500 chariots. And after dismounting and walking the rest of the way, she came and worshipped the Blessed One, and sat to one side afterwards. Then Princess Sumanā said to the Blessed One, "Bhante, if there were two disciples that were equal in their faith, in virtuous behavior, and in their wisdom, but one happened to be generous in giving, while the other was not. At the breakup of the body after death, when both of them are reborn in a good place, reappearing in the heavenly realms as devas, would there be any differences between them?" The Blessed One replied, "Sumanā, there would be a difference. The deva who in their human lifetime was generous in giving surpasses the other deva who was not generous in giving in these 5 ways. In their divine lifespan, in heavenly beauty, in heavenly pleasures and happiness, in their heavenly fame, and in their heavenly position of authority. In this manner, the one generous in giving surpasses the other in these 5 ways. But Bhante, how about when they disappear from the heavenly realms and return back here as human beings? Would there still be a difference between them, this time as human beings?" The Blessed One replied, "There would be a difference, Sumanā. The one who previously was generous in giving surpasses the other who was not generous in giving in these 5 ways. In their human lifespan, in their beauty, in pleasures and happiness, in their fame, and in their position of authority. In this manner, the one generous in giving surpasses the other in these 5 ways. But Bhante, if they both were to leave their household life and go forth by becoming homeless, would there still be a difference between them as they live the holy life?" The Blessed One said, "Sumanā, there would be a difference. The one gone forth, who previously was generous in giving, surpasses the other who was not generous in giving in these 5 ways. He would usually wear robes that have been specifically offered and given to him, and rarely wear those that were not. He would usually eat food that was specifically offered to him, and rarely eat food that was not offered to him. He would usually live or stay at a lodging that was specifically offered and given to him, and rarely live or stay at one that was not offered to him. He would usually receive medical requisites that were specifically offered to him, and rarely those that were not. He would usually be surrounded by fellow bhikkhus that are of an agreeable disposition, who are kind in their behavior, whether in thought, speech, or bodily actions towards him, and rarely would be the case where he is not surrounded by such companions in the holy life. In this manner, the one generous in giving, having gone forth, surpasses the other in these 5 ways. But Bhante, if both were to attain arahantship, would there still be a difference between the release of one and the release of the other? And the Blessed One said, Sumanā, in that event, I say that there would be no difference between the release of one and the release of the other. It's so wonderful, Bhante. It's just amazing. Just this much already is enough of a reason to be generous in giving and to do meritorious deeds and acts of kindness, since they are carried over, benefiting one's various existences, life after life, whether a deva, a human being, or as one gone forth. Sumanā, it is so indeed. Certainly one must be generous in giving and to do meritorious deeds and acts of kindness, since they are carried over, benefiting one's various existences, life after life, whether a deva, a human being, or as one gone forth. Then the Blessed One uttered these following verses. The spotless moon journeying across the sky, with its brightness, outshines all the stars seen in the world. In the same way, the one firmly established in virtuous behavior, possessed of faith, with his generosity in giving, outshines all the stingy people in the world. The thunderous clouds in their 100 peaks, pouring down torrential rain onto the earth, saturating the valleys and highlands alike, bringing much wealth. In the same manner, the wise disciple of the perfectly awakened one, in possessing the Dhamma eye, surpasses the stingy person in lifespan, fame, beauty, and happiness, while being surrounded by riches throughout, and afterwards they continue their rejoicing in the heavenly realms. Cundī Sutta, to Princess Cundī. At one time the Blessed One was living in the squirrel sanctuary in Rajagha. It was during that time that Princess Cundī, while attended by 500 royal maidens, approached the bamboo grove, escorted by 500 chariots. And after dismounting and walking the rest of the way, she came and worshipped the Blessed One, and then sat to one side. Then the Princess Cundī said to the Blessed One, Bhante, my brother, Prince Chunda, says this: whether it's a woman or man who takes refuge in the Blessed One, the Dhamma, and the Sangha of bhikkhus, abstains from killing or harming living beings on purpose, abstains from taking what is not freely given, abstains from engaging in any kind of sexual misconduct, abstains from telling lies, and from taking intoxicating substances or fermented drinks that delude the mind, making one negligent. It is only such a person who, at the breakup of the body after death, gets to be reborn in the heavenly realms, and does not go to the lower states of existence, or hell. Now, I have come to ask the Blessed One, Bhante, what kind of teacher one must have faith in, so to not be reborn in the lower realms? Bhante, what Dhamma one must have faith in, so to not be reborn in the lower realms? Bhante, what kind of Sangha of bhikkhus one must have faith in, so to not be reborn in the lower realms? And Bhante, through the fulfilling of what kind of virtuous behavior is one then not reborn into the lower realms? The Blessed One replied, Cundī, of all beings in existence, whether possessing no feet, 2 feet, 4 feet, or many feet, whether they be with form or formless, whether being perceptive or not, or neither perceptive nor non-perceptive. Among all of them, the Tathagata, the perfectly self-awakened one, is declared the foremost. By placing faith in the Blessed one places their faith in the most supreme and the highest, and this brings the highest results. Cundī, of all things conditioned in existence, the Noble Eightfold Path is declared the foremost. By having faith in the Noble Eightfold Path, one places their faith in the most supreme and the highest, and this brings the highest results. Cundī, of all things in existence, whether conditioned or unconditioned, dispassion is declared the foremost, that is, the crushing of pride and conceit, the dispelling of all thirsts, the destruction of all manner of grasping, the complete severing of the cycles of rebirth, the destruction of craving, dispassion, cessation, and release. Cundī, those who have faith in dispassion thus have placed their faith in the most supreme and the highest, and this brings the highest results. Cundī, of all sanghas or groups of individuals, the disciples of the Tathagata that make up the four great pairs, comprised of the 8 types of great persons, are declared to be the foremost. For they truly are the ones worthy of reverence, worthy of hospitality, worthy of offerings and gifts, to be venerated with clasped hands. They are the genuine field of merits for the world. Cundī, those who have faith in the Sangha have placed their faith in the most supreme and the highest, and this brings the highest results. Cundī, of all virtues held in high regard, the virtuous behavior that is loved and upheld by all the noble ones is the foremost, especially when these virtues are kept unbroken, flawless, unblemished, pure, stainless, not being self-righteous, free from blind adherence, and praised by the wise as being ungrasped, for they lead to the stability of a collected mind. Cundī, the fulfilling of the virtuous behavior that is loved and upheld by all the noble ones is the foremost fulfillment. And those who have placed their faith in the most supreme and the highest will lead them to gain the highest results. Then the Blessed One uttered the following verses. Having come across and confidently recognizing the foremost Dhamma, faith should be placed in it as being the highest, and similarly, faith should be placed in the Awakened One, the Unsurpassed, the One worthy of incomparable offerings. Having seen the foremost Dhamma, faith and confidence grow due to the bliss of dispassion. And for the ones with faith in the Sangha of Bhikkhus, the incomparable field of merit, making offerings to them, the highest and foremost merit is accrued, including the most excellent of lifespans, of beauty, fame, happiness, and power. Thus, the wise give to the highest, being settled in the highest Dhamma, gaining the highest, whether they be a deva or human. They all rejoice, experiencing that bliss. Uggaha Sutta. Uggaha, the grandson of Mendaka. At one time, the Blessed One lived in Bhaddiya, in the Jatiya forest. Then Uggaha, the grandson of Mendaka, approached the Blessed One, and after paying homage to him, sat to one side and said, Bhante, may the Blessed One accept tomorrow's meal from me, along with 3 other bhikkhus. And the Blessed One consented in silence. Then Uggaha, the grandson of Mendaka, seeing that the Blessed One had accepted his invitation, arose from his seat, and after paying his respects and circumambulating the Blessed One, he went on his way. Then in the early morning, the Blessed One, after the last watch of the night had passed, put on his upper and outer robes, and with taking his bowl approached Uggaha's home. Once inside, he sat down on the prepared seat. Then Uggaha, the grandson of Mendaka, with his own hands served the Blessed One with nourishing foods and drinks. Afterwards, seeing that the Blessed One had finished taking his meal and had put away his bowl, he sat on his side and said to the Blessed One, Bhante, my daughters will be going to their husbands' families soon. Bhante, may the Blessed One advise and instruct them in a manner that will bring about their happiness and welfare for a long time. The Blessed One then said the following to Uggaha's daughters. In that case, girls, you should train thus. To whichever husband our mother and father give us in marriage, they do so out of compassion for our welfare, and with the best of intention in mind for us. In return, we will rise before him in the morning, and retire to sleep after him, taking care of all my duties as the lady of the house, fully and obediently, showing an agreeable and kind demeanor in my conduct, as well as pleasant speech in my voice. In this way you should train yourselves. Further, it is in this manner that you should train yourselves. We will honor, venerate, and pay our respects to the elders in the husbands' homes, as if they were our own parents, whether mother or father, recluses or Brahmins, and whenever they arrive, we will offer them seats and water for washing their feet. In this way, you should train yourselves. Further, you should train thus. Whatever activities there be in our husband's home, we will be diligent in attending to our responsibilities in our domestic chores. Whether it is to comb silk thread or weaving, we will be hardworking and not lazy, being sound in judgment and efficient in doing these tasks ourselves, and when necessary, delegating them to others as the case may be. In this way, you should train yourselves. Further, you should train thus. We must personally know those people who live and work in our husband's home, be they servants, helpers, messengers, or employees. We must know about their responsibilities and tasks, what they should and should not be doing. We must know if anyone among them falls sick or becomes physically unfit, and provide care and medical attention to them, as well as provide all of them with appropriate amount of food. In this way, you should train yourselves. Further, you should train thus. Whatever wealth or income our husbands bring into the household, be it grains, silver, or gold, we will protect and guard them, but without grabbing onto them or being miserly. Instead, we will be without a thievish mindset, not stealing nor overspending, taking care of the household income, so our husbands and our new families will not be afflicted with financial loss. In this way, you should train yourselves. Therefore, know this, girls, that when a woman possesses these 5 things, at the breakup of her body, after death, she will be reborn in the company of the happy devas who delight in the fashioning of lovely creations. Not condescending nor belittling your husband, the one who supports you actively and zealously, always bringing you generously whatever it is your heart desires, not undermining nor scolding your husband, and never giving him a reason to become agitated or driven to jealousy. Eliminate all causes for bitter speech. The wise woman shows respect and care for all those whom her husband reveres, rising up early, diligent at work, managing all that needs to be taken care of at home. With aroused effort, you attend vigilantly on the lower staff too, meanwhile safeguarding the wealth your husband earns, protecting it throughout. By fulfilling your duties thus, following the will of your husband and wishes, you are to be reborn among the happy devas, called the ones who delight in the fashioning of lovely creations. Sīhasenāpati Sutta, General Sīha. At one time, the Blessed One was living in the gabled house in the great forest in Vesali. Then General Sīha approached the Blessed One, and after worshipping him, sat to one side and asked, "Bhante, is it possible for the Blessed One to point out the direct results of generosity that may be evident here and now?" "It is possible, Sīha," replied the Blessed One. "Take for example, Sīha, a generous person who is looked upon as the beloved of many, becoming near and dear to many hearts. This is one direct result of generosity that is evident here and now. Further, Sīha, such a generous and benevolent person is known to associate with superior persons found in the world. This is another direct result of generosity that is evident here and now. Further, Sīha, the generous person acquires a good reputation. This is yet another direct result of generosity that is evident here and now. Again, Sīha, whatever assembly or group of gatherings the generous person may approach, be they gatherings of warrior princes, Khattiyas, Brahmins, householders, or recluses, he approaches them all while being confident, unagitated, relaxed, and untroubled. This is yet another direct result of generosity that is evident here and now. Further, Sīha, at the breakup of the body after death, such a generous person is reborn in the heavenly realms in a very good destination. This is also a direct result of generosity, one that pertains to future lives to come. In hearing these words from the Blessed One, General Sīha said the following: "Bhante, the 4 earlier direct results of generosity mentioned by the Blessed One are evident in the here and now. Hence, they do not require me to have faith in the Blessed One, for I am a witness to their validity as visible fruits of giving. I say this, Bhante, because I am a generous person, and see how I am looked upon as the beloved of many, near and dear to many hearts. Also, being a generous person, I often find myself associating with superior persons found in the world. Further, as a generous person, I have acquired a good reputation as a generous donor and a supporter of the Sangha. Also, as a result of being generous, whatever assembly or group of gatherings I may approach, be they gatherings of warrior princes, Khattiyas, Brahmins, householders, or recluses, I approach them all while being confident, unagitated, relaxed, and untroubled. Therefore, I do not require faith to see the validity of these direct results, as I have witnessed them myself. However, Bhante, when the Blessed One said the words, "Further, Sīha, at the breakup of the body, after death, such a generous person is reborn in the heavenly realms, in a very good destination." Now, not knowing or having seen the validity of this result myself, I hereby declare that in this I have faith in the Tathagata himself. And so it is, Sīha, so it is. At the breakup of the body, after death, a generous person is reborn in the heavenly realms, in a very good destination. By being a generous giver, you become the beloved of many, near and dear to many hearts. Gaining a good reputation too, your fame spreads far and wide. This way, whatever assemblies the generous one walks into, one does so with confidence, being completely relaxed. Therefore, the wise dispel the stains of stinginess, and with wide open palms, giving gifts to all those desiring happiness. Being thus generous, they live as devas from the triple heavens. And with their wholesome actions having made much merit thus, they disappear from this world and reappear in the delight that is the company of devas. Endowed with the 5 strands of sensuality, they rejoice in heavenly pleasures. Having practiced according to the teachings of the Sugata, the well-gone, these disciples of the Holy One live with delight in celestial realms. Dānānisaṁsa Sutta. The benefits of giving gifts. Bhikkhus, these are the 5 benefits of giving. What are the 5? The generous giver becomes the beloved of many, near and dear to many hearts. Associates with superior persons found in the world. He acquires a good reputation. Does not become negligent in his duties as a layperson, and at the breakup of the body, after death, is reborn in the heavenly realms, in a very good destination. These, bhikkhus, are the 5 benefits of giving. Through giving, one is looked upon as a beloved, while treading on the path to what is good, contented to cultivate the mind, restrained and unagitated, leading the holy life. They teach the ending of all suffering, and in becoming taintless themselves, they come to know Nibbana directly. Kāladāna Sutta. Offering gifts at the right time. Bhikkhus, these are 5 ways of offering gifts at the right time. What are these 5? Offering gifts to a visiting guest. Offering gifts to one moving away or going on a long journey. Offering gifts to the sick. Offering gifts when there is a famine. And offering the first crop of one's harvest to the virtuous ones. These are the 5 ways of offering gifts at the right time. The wise give at the right time, being charitable and without stinginess, giving generously to the noble ones who are secure with an unperturbed mind. The results of such offerings are vast. Rejoicing while giving or while doing service to those in need, the act of giving itself causes hearts to rejoice, making them bright and clear. Whether witnessing and being moved by others' gifts, or in helping those in need, everyone thus partakes of the merits. So don't miss out on making that offering. Offering gifts with an unobstructed mind brings much merit. Thus, one should give while one can, where it yields great fruit. After all, merits are what support beings, be it in this world or the next. Bhojana Sutta on food. Bhikkhus, the one who offers food offers 5 things to the one who accepts them. What are these 5? One offers a longer lifespan, beauty, happiness, strength, and discernment. By offering a longer lifespan, in addition to the receiver, one also partakes of that longer lifespan that is gained, be it heavenly or human. By offering beauty, in addition to the receiver, one also partakes of that beauty, be it heavenly or human. By offering happiness, in addition to the receiver, one partakes of that happiness, be it heavenly or human. By offering strength, in addition to the receiver, one also partakes of that strength, be it heavenly or human. And by offering discernment, in addition to the receiver, one also partakes of that discernment, be it heavenly or human. Thus, bhikkhus, the one who offers food offers these 5 things to the one who accepts them. The wise one offers a longer lifespan, strength, beauty, and discernment, along with the offering of happiness, gaining happiness throughout in turn. Having given a longer lifespan, strength, beauty, happiness, and discernment, wherever he reappears, he enjoys a long life along with fame and renown. Saddhā Sutta on faith. Bhikkhus, these 5 are the benefits that accompany the gentleman who possesses faith in his heart. What are these 5? Bhikkhus, if there are superior persons in the world, they will first show compassion to those possessing faith in their hearts, not to those without faith. When first approaching others, the superior persons will do so first to those possessing faith in their hearts, not to those without faith. When accepting food offerings, the superior persons will first accept them from those possessing faith in their hearts, not from those without faith. When teaching the Dhamma, the superior persons will first teach those possessing faith in their hearts, not to those without faith. And at the breakup of the body after death, the person possessing faith in their hearts is reborn in a good destination, in the heavenly worlds, and not those who are without faith. Bhikkhus, these are the 5 benefits that accompany the gentleman who possesses faith in his heart. Bhikkhus, just as when a giant banyan tree, standing at the 4 crossroads on a leveled ground, becomes the refuge for so many birds, in the same manner, the person possessing faith in their heart becomes the refuge of many bhikkhus, bhikkhunis, male and female lay disciples. Like a giant tree with its mighty trunk and roots, possessing countless branches, leaves, and fruits, becomes the refuge for so many birds. Having flown across the sky, tired, as they seek out and resort to the soothing shade it provides, while those in need of food enjoy the fruits, too, that it provides. Likewise, the virtuous person, possessing faith in one's heart, who's welcoming, truly humble, along with kind gentleness that soothes, is sought out by those free of lust, hatred, and delusion, who are taintless. They, being the genuine field of merit in the world, seek out such a man, teaching him the Dhamma that dispels all suffering. For they are the ones who, having tasted its fruits, live without contaminants, having attained Nibbana. Puttā Sutta on sons. Bhikkhus, in order to fulfill their needs, mothers and fathers desire having sons to be born in their family, while having these 5 considerations. What 5? They reflect thus: having raised them from birth, one day, when we're old, they in turn will support us. By doing work, they will support the family financially. The family lineage will be extended by their own families. The wealth and assets of the family will be protected. And when we have died, he, along with his own family, will make offerings on our behalf. Bhikkhus, by considering these 5 factors, mothers and fathers desire having sons to be born in their family. With these 5 considerations in mind, responsible parents wish for a son. Having been raised and supported by us since birth, he will support us in the future, doing his duty to take care of us. The family line will be intact and extended as he protects the family's assets. And when we have died, we can still gain merits as he makes offerings on our behalf. Thus, the wise parents, recognizing these needs, desire having sons. Therefore, wise superior persons, being grateful to their parents, support mother and father, constantly recalling what they did for one. Following their guidance, they support those who raised them, doing whatever work that was done by the forefathers, extending the family lineage, supporting the family with faith, humility, care, and virtue. Such sons are seen as deserving of praise everywhere they go. Mahāsālaputtā Sutta. Sons of great sal trees. Bhikkhus, because of the presence of the Himalayas, the king of mountain ranges, the great sal trees grow in 5 ways. What 5? They grow in their branches, leaves, and foliage. Their bark grows strong. They grow in their shoots. Their sapwood grows, and they grow in their heartwood. Thus, bhikkhus, because of the presence of the Himalayas, the king of mountain ranges, the great sal trees grow in these 5 ways. Bhikkhus, in the same manner, when the head of the family possesses faith in his heart, his household grows in 5 ways. What 5? They grow in faith, they grow in virtuous behavior, they grow in their learning, they grow in their generosity, and they grow in wisdom. Thus, bhikkhus, when the head of the family possesses faith in his heart, his household grows in these 5 ways. As the great sal trees find themselves supported by the mighty mountains of rock, they grow in the vast wilderness, becoming the overlords of the forests. In the same way, when the father, who's the head of the family, lives with virtuous behavior, possessing faith in his heart, his wife, children, and relations all grow under his wing and support, along with his companions, the circle of friends, and all those living under him grow in virtues, generosity, and good conduct. Thus, living while in possession of wisdom, one carefully looks at the conduct of the virtuous superior person, his generosity and good deeds, emulating what he observes and sees. Living thus, according to the Dhamma, they go to farther happiness and good fortune, even in heaven finding themselves where they delight, partaking of sensual bliss. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.